Well, guys, I got so excited from making my video and got so into the moment that I forgot to talk here. So we're just going to start in a seated position. You can do crisscross applesauce or you can start on your knees. And we're just beginning with some slow, deep shoulder rolls and deep breaths to just get us warmed up and feeling good. All right, and here is when I remember to start talking. Bring your arms up overhead and down to heart center. And bring your arms up on the inhale. And one more. Big exhale. Now we're going to interlace the fingers. Go ahead and clasp your hands tight and push through. Feel the stretch in your hands and in your fingers. Maybe even pop a couple knuckles. Oh, feel the stretch in your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and bring it up to the top. And gently look up towards your hands and release them. Bring your right hand up. And you can use your left hand as a support and stretch that right side body. Just hold for a couple of breaths here. And go ahead and repeat on the left side. Bring the left arm up. And you can use your right hand as a support. Stretch. Making sure that your left hip might want to leave, but try and keep it planted on the ground. And go ahead and repeat the right side, and this time do some big arm circles. And do it in the other direction. And on the other side, go ahead and take those big arm circles, just feeling the different muscles stretch throughout that circle. And finding a rhythm with your breath, whatever feels best for you. Don't stress about trying to match your breath with the move perfectly. Just do what feels natural to you. And reverse it. Couple more. All right, come back to center, and we're just going to do some neck circles to really loosen up that neck. Just go from left to right, drawing a big U with your nose. Actually, I'll turn to the side so you can see this. Go ahead and bring those arms back up and down to heart center. And one more time. Bring them up and then push them down and around behind you. And we're gonna stretch out the chest and the heart. Feel the chest and heart opening. You can add some movement if you want. You can bend back farther. You can play around with your head angle. Move your chin up and down a little bit. I like to kind of lift my chin. Keep everything lifted. And then bring those back to the center. We'll do one more of those. Hands up and push them out and behind you. This time, clasping your hands behind your back and straightening your arms. Feeling that expansion in your chest and in your heart, in the front of your shoulders. You can put them back down on the ground if you like, that better. Just whatever is feeling best in your body today. All right. And now, take one more deep breath. We're going to go ahead and move to our tabletop position on all fours. We're just going to pause here for a second and do some moving around a little bit, just kind of loosen it up. I really like to shift my weight from side to side. You can let your head hang, maybe move your head from side to side. Show you the front view here. Moving side to side, just feeling your spine getting flexible and bendy, loosening up. I could do this all day. Feel free to make noises, to sigh or to moan, to groan, to grunt, to be silent if you want, but just let yourself make noise if you want to. I find that sighing or groaning or moaning during my practice helps me feel more relieved and just helps me really release extra tension or anxiety that might have been building up over the last few days or weeks. So give it a try. It feels kind of weird at first maybe to some, but I would encourage you to just try it in the safety and privacy of your own home and see how it feels. It might be something that you would want to add into your regular practice. Okay, so we've been moving and grooving a little bit. We're just going to go ahead and go into some cat-cow. So we will inhale, let the belly drop.
Look up to the sky and feel the stretch in your abs. Oh, and then exhale, curl your tailbone up, pull your nose to your navel and push away from the earth. Inhale. Let the belly drop. Feel the stretch in your neck. Pull your shoulders away from your ears and exhale. Pushing away from the earth, connecting all 10 of your fingers onto the mat as you push away. Do a couple more of those at your own pace with your own breath. Do one more here. You're going to go ahead and push those hips back and sink down into child's pose. Adjust whatever needs to be adjusted. I like to always move around a little bit when I'm in child's pose at first and just get my hips like really nice and just settled in. It feels so yummy and yeah, just so good. So feel free to move around, shift your hips from side to side. Continue breathing. Or you can choose just to be still in child's pose for a couple of moments. Okay. Going to come back into tabletop, and we're actually going to take a couple of minutes to stretch out the bottoms of the feet. So go ahead and curl your toes under and sit back. Oh, feeling the soles of your feet stretching. It never gets old. We just don't stretch our feet enough throughout the day or any time. And when I first started doing this, the soles of my feet were so tight and so sore, but now it's one of my favorite things to do. We don't realize how much tension we can store in the bottoms of our feet, and it kind of makes sense, like we're on top of them all day, but to actually stretch them out in this way is incredibly, I don't even know the word, it just feels good, guys. It just feels good. You can put your hands on your knees if you want. You can lean forward if that's a little too intense to be upright, but we'll just spend a couple more breaths stretching out the bottoms of the feet before moving into our next phase. Okay, now back into tabletop. Ground down, push all 10 of your fingers into the mat. Feel both of your knees connecting with the ground. Feel the tops of your feet pushing into the ground. You're going to take your right leg and you're going to extend it long out behind you. Do a couple of ankle circles, foot circles. You can bend your knees a little bit. Stick that leg out, and then you're going to take your left hand and slowly peel it up from the mat, and you're going to extend it out in front of you, like you're reaching for someone's hand. And you're going to pull that shoulder back. Make sure your shoulder isn't up by your ear. Pull it back. And go ahead and put the hand down and the foot down. Take a breath here. And we'll repeat on the opposite side. Pressing into the mat, getting our bearings, and going ahead and lifting that left leg back behind us, stretching it out, extending it out, trying to touch the wall behind it. Doing a few ankle rotations here. Maybe bend the knee out a little bit. Stick it out, and then go ahead and peel that right hand up from the mat and extend it out in front of you. Making sure to not let your shoulder creep up too far, pulling it back. Feeling that opposing directions, the opposing forces in your body while you're still conscious of your right foot being pressed into the mat and your left hand pressing down. Go ahead and bring those back down to the mat. And take a breath. Do a cat and a cow if you want to. Go ahead and lift that right leg back. Left hand up. And it's okay if the balance isn't there yet. You can always just do it for however long you can. You can just, put only your leg up, or you can just focus on putting only one hand up, just whatever. If you want to be challenged, that's great. If you don't, that's great. Go ahead and put those back down to the mat. Left leg out behind you. Right hand extended. Trying to make sure those hips are square, that left hip isn't rising up, that it's even with the other hip. I can feel the heat beginning to rise up in my legs. Feels good. Okay. Shake out the hands and wrists a little bit. All right. Now the next thing that we're going to be doing is going ahead and tucking those toes underneath and pushing up into our first downward dog of the practice. Lifting those hips up into the air. Turning your thighs toward each other while you turn your shoulders away from each other. Feeling those opposing forces at work. Feeling the stretch in those calves. You can pedal out the feet here, going back and forth. I always like to just take some time in the first downward dog and just really feel into it and get comfortable in it. Move around in it a little bit before rushing to the next thing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and lift up our left leg. Do a couple of ankle circles. Left leg, and then bring that leg through and put it in between your hands. Low lunge. Go ahead and just move around here in low lunge. And get comfy, get flexible. You can go back and forth. You can experiment with lowering and raising your knee on your left leg. Actually, I just want to keep that left knee down for this one. Hands are still on the mat. We're slowly going to raise our hands. Bring them up. Inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Feeling that stretch on the front of your left hip. We're going to turn to our right and feel that stretch even more. Back to center. Inhale, hands go up. exhale, hands release back down beside the foot. Lift that left knee up. Bring that right foot back, and you're in a plank. And we're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. Not letting anything collapsing, keeping the navel in. You can always take it to the knees. And we're going to actually go ahead and take it to the knees and slowly lower down till you're on your belly, and then we will push up into cobra. Curl those toes under, lift those hips up, back into downward dog. Just if you need, go ahead and lift that left leg up. Do a couple of circles. Lift it up and bring it all the way through until it's in between your hands. Play a little bit in this low lunge type situation. I always love going back and forth. Ooh, just getting that deep, deep stretch in that hamstring and calf and the front of the foot. Ooh. You can put the foot flat on the ground, that right foot flat on the ground, or you can leave those toes tucked. Go ahead and put that knee, the right knee down. Start lifting through the hands. And inhale, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Go ahead and twist over to your left. Feel that stretch. Woo, that's intense. Through that right front hip. Keeping the hips square with each other as much as possible. And inhale, come back to center. Hands release. Back down to the feet. Go ahead and lift that right knee up and bring the left leg back into that plank. Hold for a couple of breaths. And we go ahead and lower down to our belly. Do whatever you like here to get back into the downward dog. I'll meet you there, however you decide to get there. Lift up your right foot, bring it through, step through. This time we're going to leave the left knee above the mat, and we're going to raise up to the lunge. Hands up above. Ooh. Hands at heart center. One more inhale. And exhale. And exhale all the way down. Hands back on the mat. In plank position and sink to your belly. Up to cobra, and back up to downward dog. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Left foot up, bring it through, keep that right knee up, and float those hands up. Inhale. Ooh, hands to heart center. Adjust if you need to. I feel like my knees are always going over a little bit. One more inhale. Exhale, heart center. And let the hands float all the way back down to the mat. Go back into that high plank and back down to your belly. Chaturanga. We're gonna do one more lunge move, my favorite of all. We're gonna lift that leg up, right leg up, bring it through, step through, and actually we're gonna put the knee down again. Put the left knee down, top of the foot on the mat. And then what we're gonna do, I don't even know what to call this, but we're gonna extend our hands out to our sides on the inhale, and then on the exhale, bring them forward. In the inhale, I'll show you what it looks like from the front. Get a better idea. Okay, inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, one more. Turn back around and hands up above us and float them down, back. Go ahead and get back in your plank position. Go down to your belly. Push up into cobra. And then back into downward dog, however you like. Let me adjust my knee here a bit. All right, back into downward dog. We're gonna do that same sequence on the left side. Left foot up. Bring it all the way through, step through. Right knee on the mat. And on the inhale, bring your hands out to the side. And exhale, lean forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and take in all the energy that you want and that you wish for. Exhaling everything that you want to let go of. One more breath. Those hands go back down on the mat. Get back into your plank. Down onto your belly. Oh, cobra. And back into downward dog. Now we're gonna walk our hands up to our feet. And just hang out here in a forward fold. You might want to move your head from side to side. You might want to pedal your feet out a little bit. And slowly we'll start rolling our way up to a standing position. Take a second to roll your shoulders back. I'm going to go ahead and face the camera now. Do a couple of shoulder rolls. Deep breaths. We're going to go ahead and take our feet into a wider stance here. And we'll just do inhale and exhale. Pushing the hands out. One more of those. Inhale. And with this exhale, we will do a forward fold. Oh. Go ahead and bend the legs back and forth. Really feeling the stretch in that lower back, in the inner thighs. Just go at your own pace. You can kind of play around with moving your head and neck back and forth. We're gonna move over to the right. Feel that stretch in the right hamstring. Walk our hands back to center and then walk them on over to your left. Oh yeah. Ooh, breathe into your hamstring. Try and see if you can keep your hips square and really feel that stretch all along the right side of your rib cage here. Okay, come back to center. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the toes on the right foot out and move our upper body towards the right here. You can bend that knee a little bit. You might want to pivot your left foot a little bit and go ahead and sink into a lunge here. We're gonna go ahead and rise up, hands above our heads. And straighten that leg out. Inhale and open the arms wide into warrior two. You can straighten and bend that leg, get comfy. And then we're going to go ahead and do a reverse warrior on the exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, put your right arm on your right knee and do a nice big side stretch there. And inhale, back up to center. And go ahead and take it back into the reverse warrior. And just do this little bendy wave a few times with your breath. Inhale and center, and exhale on the bend. Maybe one more breath here before we go to the next side. And let's come back to center. We're going to straighten that knee out. Turn the toe back in so that both feet are pointing forward. And we'll go ahead and drop the arms. Do a couple shoulder rolls. Take a couple breaths before we move on to the left side. All right. We'll go ahead and bring the hands overhead. Turn the toes of the left foot out to the side. Turn your body towards the left. Bend that leg. Bend your left leg. And then open up your arms out to the center for warrior two. You can kind of feel what level of depth is good for you right now. You can play around with bending and straightening that leg before you settle into whatever feels good. And then we'll inhale, and on the exhale, bend it into reverse warrior. You can look up at your hands, and you can look at the ceiling, or close your eyes if you want. Inhale, and go ahead and fold the other way, putting your left arm on your left knee. And just do a couple of those cycles. Such a deep stretch in the side body. Inhale. You can also play around with putting your hand on the mat here for a deeper stretch. Inhale. We'll just do one more cycle. Back bend. Center. And forward bend. And back center. Go ahead and straighten that leg. Bring your toes forward. Inhale. And a big forward fold. Let it all go. All right, we're gonna go ahead, heel toe or whatever, move our way so that our feet are back into the center. And we're gonna just bend our knees deeply here. As we come up, keep those knees bent. One more chair pose. Feel that heat in your thighs. Feel the weight of your body pressing down onto your feet. One more exhale, and as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands down to the mat. We're actually going to go ahead and come all the way down to a seated position. And we are going to start to just bring it back down. So, I'm going to go ahead and lay down here. Bring your arms overhead. Oh, do a full body stretch here. All right. Go ahead and bring your feet up here. Feet flat on the ground. You're going to raise your right foot up in the air. Do a couple ankle circles. Then you're going to cross it over on top of your left leg. You can keep it like this. You can add a little bit of pressure if you want with your hand and push open that knee a little bit. You can also let your left foot rise from the mat, and you can pull it forward. There's a lot of variations here. Just do what's feeling best in your body right now. Just stretch out, get a deep stretch in that glute and hamstring. And put those feet back down and raise up your left leg. Do a couple of ankle circles. Cross it over onto your right leg. And go ahead and find whatever stretch you would like to land in today. Go ahead and put both feet up and bring your knees to your chest. Rock back and forth a little bit. Feel that full connection of your spine and your lower back onto the mat. Release your left leg first. And then your right leg. Go ahead and bring your hands to your sides and let them fall open. Continuing to breathe deeply. Letting the full weight of your body sink into the mat. As you let go of all the stress and all the worries, you let go of all the tension that was just released in this yoga practice today. And taking a moment to thank yourself for taking care of your body by doing this yoga practice today. And that's awesome. That's a great way to show yourself some love. And that's so important. Stay here as long as you like, as long as you need. Thank you so much for joining me in my practice today. I hope this felt amazing in your body, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.